Okay, this is part 2, and we're going to deal with long division. Now, you should be familiar already with, say, addition of terms. For example, x squared plus 3x squared. There's 3x squared, 1x squared will get 4x squared. Okay, so this is your addition. We could subtract as well. 3y cubed minus y cubed. 3y cubed minus y cubed is 2y cubed. So that's the subtraction. We can also multiply x squared times 4x squared. Okay, 4x squared times x squared is what? When you multiply, you remember you add the powers. So this would give us 4x4. Okay, so these are examples of addition, subtraction, and multiplication. But now we want to deal with division. Let's clear out our board. Okay, division is a little bit more difficult for many questions. For example, a simple one would be 2x cubed divided by x squared. Okay, these are both polynomials. This is a cubic polynomial. This is a quadratic. So when we divide, we subtract the power. 2x cubed and then minus 2, we'll get 2x power 1. That's a very simple division, but unfortunately, they're not all simple like that, as we'll see soon. So division is what we need to do. But actually, the method is very similar to doing a regular division. And what we do need to learn is some vocabulary. So here's a question where we're dividing 6 into 20. Now for our vocab, the 6 is called a divisor. The dividend is the number you're dividing into, called a dividend. After your division, we'll get a quotient, which is the number that appears on the top there. And your remainder is the number down here. So for example, if you wanted to divide 7 into 25, 7 into 25 can go 2 7s are 14, 3 7s are 21. And we subtract as normal. 25 minus 21 is 4. Okay, so 25 on 7 is equal to 3 and 4 7s, if we write that as a mixed number like that. And we use a similar kind of method when we do long division. Let's clear that out. Okay, so from this question here, we can use terminology like this. Your dividend divided by the divisor, that's your 20 on 6, is the quotient, which was 3, plus the remainder, which was 2, on your divisor, which was 6, like that. And multiplying by the divisor, both of these parts will give this result here. So these are a couple of ways you can write your solutions when we come to that later. Probably we should do some examples and see how this is working. So in this question, we have a quadratic, x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 2. Now, if you think back to quadratics, if we want to factorize a quadratic, 5x squared plus 5x plus 6, and we want to make them into factors, okay, because that's actually what we're doing here. Now, the two numbers, well, we've got an x squared, so we can write x into the first position. And then the two numbers that go here will multiply to be 6, but add to be 5. So that must be plus 2 and plus 3. So 3 times 2 is 6, good. And 2 plus 3 is 5, the middle number. So these are the factors of x squared plus 5x plus 6. All right. Now this is the x plus 2, and this is x plus 2. So I'm betting the answer we're going to get here is x plus 3. Let's see if we can get that. Now what we need to do here, we need to create x squared here. So what number multiplied by x will give x squared? So what times x is x squared? That must be x, of course. X times x is x squared. What is x times 2? 2 times x is 2x, so we write it down here. And as we do with division, next we subtract, as we saw on the first example. So x squared minus x squared is gone, good. 5x minus 2x is 3x. The next step is to bring down the last number, which is a constant, and put 6 here. And we repeat that step again. So what times x is 3x? Because we want to create 3x here, right? So this would have to be 3. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 2, 6. And subtract. Okay? And the remainder is 0. So we know we've done this correctly, because when you divide by x plus 2, you get exactly x plus 3. There's no remainder. Okay, so we know this is correct because we have remainder 0 for this particular question. So let's do some more. How about this one? Now we have a cubic polynomial, and we've got an x cubed here. So we want to create an x cubed here, because when we subtract, we want to have 0 here. So what times x gives x cubed? That must be x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times minus 3 is minus 3x squared. Okay? So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Good. 2x cubed, 2x squared minus negative 3x squared. 2 minus negative is positive. So this will become 5x squared. Okay? And now we bring down the next term, which is minus 13x. So now we've got a 5x squared, and we want to create a 5x squared here. So what times x is 5x squared? That must be 5x. So 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times minus 3, minus 15x. And then we subtract. 5x minus 5x is gone, 0, good. Minus 13 minus negative 15 will give you 2x. It's minus 13 plus 15, 2x. And then we drop down the next term, which is 10 plus 10. Okay, so now we've got a 2x. What times x is 2x? It must be 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times minus 3, minus 6. And subtract here. So now we've got 2x minus 2x, gone, good. 10 minus negative 6 is 16, and that's your remainder. In most questions, you'll have a remainder which is not 0, which means because you've got remainder 16, this x minus 3 is not a factor of your polynomial. And we'll cover that more later. So this is your quotient here. That's your quotient, and this is your remainder here after division. Right, let's try another question. Okay, so we want to divide x cubed minus 3x plus 1 by x plus 2. So for this question, we see there is no x squared term. So what we do, we'll insert a 0x squared into the dividend here. Okay, so we'll have x cubed plus 0x squared minus 3x plus 1. Some students leave this as blank, but I think it's better to put a 0 here so you won't lose track of your calculations. Okay, so this is x cubed. We want to have an x cubed here. So what times x is x cubed? It must be x squared. X squared times x, x cubed. X squared times 2, 2x squared. And we subtract. So 0 minus 2, negative 2x squared. And then we bring down the minus 3x. Okay, so now we've got x, and we want to have a minus 2x squared here. So this must be minus 2x. So minus 2x times x, minus 2x squared. Minus 2x times 2, minus 4x. And subtract those. Minus 2, minus negative 2. Minus negative is plus 2. So these will cancel. Minus 3, minus negative 4. So that's 4 minus 3, which is x. And then we'll bring down the 1, the last term. So this is going to have to be 1. 1 times x is x. 1 times 2 is 2. And subtract 1 minus 2, negative 1 as the remainder. Okay, so this one's going to be a bit more tricky. Okay, so we're going to end up with fractions in our dividend, and you'll see why in a minute. So we're going to divide 2x minus 1 into 4x cubed plus 3x squared minus 6x plus 1. So 2x into 4x cubed. So this is going to have to be 2x squared. 2x squared times 2x will be 4x cubed, which is good because they're the same. So 2x squared times negative 1, negative 2x squared. Okay, now we subtract 4 minus 4, 0, gone, good. 3 minus negative 2 is 5x squared. Now you see the problem. We want to have a number, so we want a number that times 2x, that will give 5x squared. So what's that going to be then? We're going to have this being 5x squared on 2x, which will give you 5 on 2x. But the number you want here is 5 on 2x. And we forgot to bring down the minus 6, so let's do that now. Okay, so 5 on 2x times 2x will give you 5x squared. 5 on 2x times minus 1 minus 5 on 2x. Okay, 5x squared minus 5x squared is 0, gone. Minus 6x plus 5 on 2x will be minus 7 on 2x. You may need a calculator to do that. And then now drop your 1 down to be plus 1. Okay, so what times 2? So what times 2x is minus 7 on 2x? That would be minus 7 on 4x. I won't go through this. We'll use that calculation there to do it. Minus 7 on 4. So minus 7 on 4 times 2, minus 7 on 2x, minus 7 on 4 times minus 1, 7 on 4. Sorry for the mess. And we end up with minus 3 on 4 for the remainder. So when you subtract these two numbers here, do that there. That one's a bit tricky, question 4. You won't see too many like that. And they can be quite messy to get the correct answer. I won't give too many like that. Okay, the last question. It's just written a little bit differently, but it's the same kind of calculation. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to x squared minus 2x minus 5 divided by x minus 3? These look similar to the answers previously written. So if we can divide these, I think it will be equal to one of these here. Let's try division. So we can see this has to be x times x squared, x times minus 3, minus 3x, subtract. So this will cancel. Minus 2 plus 3 will give you x. Drop down to minus 5. Okay, so now we have x. So this would have to be 1, yeah? So 1 times x is x. 1 times minus 3, minus 3. And subtract minus 5 plus 3 minus 2. So look at our solution. This could be written as x plus 1, the quotient, plus the remainder on the divisor, plus negative 2 on x minus 3. I'm just referring back to page 1 here. So our solution can be written like that. So that's your quotient. This is your remainder. This is your divisor. And we can see it must match D here because it looks the same. The plus minus 2 is the same as minus 2 here. Okay, so I've given you an exercise 2 to do. Show all the working when you do these. You can check them on the computer. Some websites can calculate for you. You can use PhotoMath to check your solution. Okay, so have a go at that, and I'll see you in the next video.